So junior year, you kill.
Jay Zikalati, what's going on with you, broski?
All right, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Stay woke.
Welcome back to the Stay Woke podcast, guys. Season 2. Thank you guys for tuning in to the last 10 that I had. I really appreciate it. This next season is gonna be way better, I promise you. And can't wait to bring it in with the one and only Michaela. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on here. I know you got practice and stuff, so I'm glad you're up here.
Of course, no problem.
So let's just get straight into this interview. What's going on right now with hoop? How's school? Did you guys just get back to school? Breaks over? What's going on?
Yeah, so we just started school on the 4th, back from Christmas break. We had 2 weeks off, which is a little short, but we are a quarter school, so that's a little bit normal for us. Yeah, I'm liking my classes so far. It's my last quarter as a senior at UCLA, so I'm super excited for that. But as far as hoops, our game today, supposed to be today, got canceled against Colorado just due to health kind of precautions. But we're hopefully going to be playing on Sunday against Utah, so I'm super excited to get back on the court with my team and play.
Definitely, that's dope. What are you majoring in?
I'm a sociology major with a minor in African American studies.
Oh, okay. You got some history.
Yes, I do.
Love it. All right. So for the viewers that don't know who you are or barely know who you are, born and raised in Aurora, Colorado, what you want to talk about your parents' background, where they come from?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Nigerian. My parents were both born in Nigeria, came here at different times in their life. My mom came here when she was around 6, and my dad came here on a track scholarship to Missouri. And so obviously just growing up with African parents, things are a little bit different. But I'm just super grateful to be able to have the parents that I did. They pushed me a lot in school and sport. And my dad was actually in the Olympics. Don't ask me what years. I just know it was a long time ago. But it's really cool to be able to see like the medals in our house and just see how hard he worked to get to the Olympics. I've come from a very sport heavy family. My uncles played basketball. They did wrestling in college. And so it's just really cool to be around a family that is just really, really sports heavy.
Definitely, that's dope. So would you say like your parents are like the first people that showed you sports, or like, yo, this is basketball, or this is whatever? Like, were they like your first role models, you would say?
Yeah, I definitely would, especially my dad, just because my mom played in high school, but my dad, I would always see the medals around our house, like I said. And I was kind of a late bloomer. I started playing basketball when I was 12, and that was just due to I moved schools. My old school didn't have sports. And so just like from there, like I've always just had super positive relationships with my parents through sport. And so it's been just such an important part of my life and part of relationship with my parents as well.
Definitely. So what sports did you play growing up?
Okay, so I started when I was like 12 and I played volleyball. I ran track and I played basketball. And so obviously going to high school, I only stuck with track and basketball. And then in college, I stuck with basketball. But track and volleyball, they were both fun in their different ways. But I love basketball the most for sure.
Definitely. So choosing your high school, what made you go to Grandview?
Yeah, so originally I was actually playing for the Grandview feeder team when I was younger. And like I said, I started basketball super late. And so I was kind of with my coach, and then I ended up moving, and I moved to kind of the Grandview section. And so we knew it was going to be a great program as far as just like academics, as far as just like the basketball program. And one of my feeder team coaches actually got a job at Grandview. And so that was kind of like an easy transition. I kind of knew somebody there. And so yeah, my Grandview career, I had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people. Basketball was also fun. So I'm grateful that I was able to go to a school like Grandview for sure.
Definitely. So your freshman year, did you start varsity?
I did, yes.
So you started all 4 years.
Yes, I did.
Dang, that's dope. That's so dope. Well, how far did you guys make it before you guys won state, or did you get to state before when you're younger classmen, or was your senior year like that was your guys' first time getting there?
Yeah, my freshman year we went to the Final Four. My sophomore year we went to I want to say 16, And then my junior year, we went to the Final Four. And then senior year, we were able to get to the state championship game and then eventually win. So it took a
Definitely.
while. I didn't have a lot of experience going into the championship game until my last year.
Right, definitely. But you guys had a solid team. I felt like you guys all were like really good friends on and off the court.
We were, and some of those people I still talk to today. Just even like this last summer when I was home, we were able to get together of our high school team. So that's really cool. And some of my best friends are on that team. So that's just a team that I'll always remember for sure.
Definitely. So you want to elaborate a little bit on winning state
Yeah.
track and winning state in hoop your senior year? What was that like?
Oh, dang, did I lose them? Can you hear me? Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you
That
now.
was
You good.
definitely just a special. Okay, cool. That was a special year just for me. Obviously, being a senior, I wanted to go out with a bang. And obviously, basketball, like that's what you want to do. Like that's your ultimate goal. And so to be able to win with my teammates, that was really cool. And I think that year, did we go undefeated? No, I don't think we were undefeated, but we had a really good year, really good squad. And so that was really cool because that's just like the one thing I really, really wanted in high school is to leave with the state championship. And then track, like I really didn't love track, to be completely honest, just in high school. I didn't love it. I just did it because it was fun. Like I was good at it. And like I had a lot of my basketball teammates on track. And so
Right.
I did it. And that year, my algebra teacher was actually the coach. And he was like, I think we have a good chance of winning state. I was like, okay. And I was like, all right. I mean, I don't love it, but of course, like I want to win a state championship. And we ended up being really good. And we kind of just blew it out the water at the state track meet. And so that was really fun to be able to go out with a bang with 2 championships in 2 different sports.
Which one was better?
Basketball.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think
say.
track was kind of just a plus. Like it was really cool. And like I was like, I mean, going out with 2, but basketball is the one that I really, really wanted all 4 years for sure.
Do you think that's gonna be the one thing you remember the most about high school, winning state?
100%. 100%.
Definitely. That's dope. So ending your senior year, you were Miss Colorado, 5A Player of the Year, first team All State, Gatorade Player of the Year for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah.
What is that like? That's crazy. When I was reading that, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, it was definitely, I mean, in high school, it was definitely, I mean, I had a lot of great people surround me who just really helped me out and get me to the place where I was at the end of my senior year. So I'm just very grateful to be able to have that circle of people because I know that's not the case for everybody. But yeah, I mean, I try not to really let those things go to my head. But obviously now I'm older and looking back, like it just kind of shows just how much I wanted to be better in basketball, how much I wanted to grow and be the best player I could be. And obviously those accolades will come if they're supposed to, but I'm just looking back, I'm just like, wow, kind of like what you said. And so, yeah, it's cool. But I just really appreciate my experiences in high school overall.
Definitely. That's dope. So what was your recruitment like in high school? I know we'll get into the McDonald's All-American, but I know was your phone buzzing all 4 years, or when did your recruitment pick up? I know you just won senior year state. What was your recruitment like in high school?
So I probably started getting like recruiting mail and like contact with coaches, probably maybe not contact with coaches, but like a little bit familiar with coaches after my freshman year of high school. And so I was kind of familiar with it. And then like junior year is when things can really hit off and people can contact you and stuff like you can have home visits and you can go to official visits. And so I had kind of that experience for a while. And honestly, I hated the recruiting process. Anybody who knows me knows I hated it just because it was just a lot of attention on me. And I don't really love that all the time, but it was definitely crazy. And I just thank my mom for just being my rock in my recruiting process because she really set things straight with coaches. And they were calling my phone at first, but my mom was like, no, that's not going to happen. And so she really was just somebody who facilitated the recruiting process for me really, really well. And it was crazy, honestly. And I was very stressed coming down to my decision, especially because I chose so late. Like you would think that I would want to choose early and get it over with, but I
Right.
chose November of my senior year. And so from freshman year of high school to my senior year, it was constant calls and mail and just the constant question of where you're going to school or who's looking at you. And So I hated it, but ultimately I'm really grateful that I picked UCLA, and I know I picked the right place.
And before we talk about you picking UCLA, what were your top three schools?
I actually went on 5 official visits. So I went to Arizona State, Tennessee, UCLA, Louisville, and Duke.
So what was now we can ask this question. What made you choose UCLA?
Yeah, I feel like once you get to that level, I feel like just certain things are just the same, like the facilities, the teams are really good, the living situations are really, really nice. And so for me, it was more than that. It was about just the relationships that I had fostered with the girls on the team, with the coaching staff, and I just felt like it felt right. Obviously, LA is no snow, so I was trying to get up out that snow, like how snow, nice
I
weather,
feel
like
you.
get out of that snow. And I just felt like as a program, they had a great vision for who they wanted me to be, not only as a basketball player, but also as a woman. At the end of the day, like college is such a learning experience. And so that's what I really wanted. I felt that I could get the most out of UCLA. And like UCLA is one of the best academic schools in the country. And so academics is super important to me and my family. And so to be able to have this experience to get a free education, play basketball, and just have the relationships that I have at UCLA, never take it for granted. I know I'm super blessed.
Definitely. You are. That's dope. You're a lot of people would do anything to be in your position. So it's nice to hear that you don't take it for granted. Wake up every day, work hard. So transitioning into your freshman year, you played every game your freshman year. You averaged multiple double doubles. Um, what was your first year in college like?
It was tough, honestly. Like my advice to any freshman coming in college is just stay the course and just be a sponge. I just feel like for me, my freshman summer was the hardest summer of my life. Like not even over exaggerating. Just like the workouts were a different level, the schedule was a different level, and I just something that like high school can't even get you ready for until you're really ready. You're really in college. And so that was such a learning experience for me. But that freshman summer was super hard. And I'm just glad I had my great classmates to kind of get me through it. And it taught me a lot, obviously. And moving forward to the season, freshman year was hard, but I had so many great vets ahead of me that I was able to learn from. And obviously now I'm better because of it. But I didn't end up getting things really until like January of my freshman year where I was like, okay, I finally got it. But it took me a while, honestly, like learning plays, the speed of the game, more aggressive, taller players that I just wasn't used to in high school. And so it was definitely a transition, but I am grateful for that experience.
Definitely. What would you say was like the main thing that you learned that year, your freshman year?
For me, it was just how like how much you have to work. I feel like I was obviously whatever in high school, but I just felt like there was like another level that you didn't even know you had to tap into. And so like that was probably the hardest part for me. And like learning plays was really hard for me also too. Just like the more extricate plays in college were a little bit different than like high school. Like you have
Definitely.
a couple plays, you know, like but here you have a playbook of like 40 plays that you
Right.
have to know. And
Have to
so that
know.
was the hardest part for me. And so I put in a lot of extra work, like outside of practice with my other freshman class to just learn the plays, like just like know where to go. So that was probably the hardest part for me.
Definitely. So going into your sophomore year, you definitely could tell you put in a lot of work. You started every game, averaged 18 and basically 9 rebounds, scored 29 3 times. What made you take such a big leap from your freshman to sophomore year?
Yeah. So after my freshman year, we have exit meetings with our head coach. And my head coach basically told me, she was like, I need you to be the go to player next year. And so obviously, like as a freshman, you're like, what? I just got here. Like, what are you talking about? You need me to be the go to player. And so I kind of took that to heart and I put a lot of pressure on myself that summer when I went home and I was able to just really put in a lot of work with my trainer, Jody Hollins, for the most part. And yeah, I just got better. And I wanted to be better because my coach had asked that of me, but also because I knew my team needed that from me too. And so that's where I would really say that came from and where it started. And then obviously you want to get better every single day. So moving through the season, just continuing to grow and my skills become more versatile, and it ended up being a good year.
Definitely. That's dope. What was like your biggest game that year, your sophomore year? You're still being an underclassman and knowing you got the green light. What was like the biggest game like you felt like, damn, I'm really here doing this shit? Like what was that? What game was that for you?
Honestly, probably our game against Maryland in the I think it was the round of 32. And so we were a 6 seed my sophomore year. And so we go ahead and we play a 3 seed in Maryland. Maryland's a great, just historically, they're a great team on the women's side, and they always produce really, really great teams and really great players. And so they were a 3 seed. And so we went in, obviously, we were not supposed to win because we were a 6 seed. And we went in and we won. And I had a really great game that game. And that was just such a defining moment for our program, just because we were not supposed to be there. We had a really tough start my sophomore year. We had a really tough start. I think we started 3-5, and so we were not having a great year. And so we kind of just like turned it around. And that year, I was just super proud of my team. And obviously, my coach had asked a lot of me, but we just did so well as a team. And like that's a team that I'll forever be super proud to be a part of.
Definitely. That's dope. So you finished your sophomore year top 15 in rebounds and top 11 in points. That's dope. Underclassmen. I don't know if you knew that, but like me telling you that, like, how does that feel?
I mean, it's just kind of what I just kind of what I said, just doing what I need to do for my team. Like at the end of the day, if I could do whatever I can to help and put my team in a good position, like I'm all for it. And if that meant I was gonna have to score, I mean, I was gonna have to score. If that meant I was gonna have to get rebounds, that meant I was gonna have to get rebounds. And so I appreciate my coach for just having the confidence in me to just really challenge me and tell me like I need you to be the go-to player. And it was obviously a blessing because it pushed me to be the player I am today, but it really helped me see my potential as well. And so, yeah, again, like I said, I'm just super proud of that team and what we did that year.
That's dope. So your junior year, you reached 1,000 points. You averaged 19 and 8, scored 567 points, and that was your second season scoring 500 plus. I feel like this year was like straight. Let me get my buckets. Like you can tell that you scored 567 points in a season. Like that's a lot. What
Yeah,
was that? What was that transition? I just feel like just from looking at your stats and reading like everything, it just seems like you matured more in your game. Like your game, like you mentally figured it out. Like now you're not just physically playing the game. Now I know how to trick you, blah blah. Like now you're just mentally above the curve.
yeah, I think junior year was a really just a good year for us. Obviously, it got cut short because of COVID, but I think in that year this first year I was an upperclassman. It was my first year I was a captain, and so I think there was just like a different leadership role that I needed to fulfill, and that I just needed to step into. And so last year, being kind of a more vet on the team, I felt like there was just things that I needed to do and to help my team. And at that point, you kind of just you figured it out. Like, okay, like I've been here for almost 3 years, and
Right,
there's certain things my team needs that I'm gonna do. And definitely last year, I really, really focused on just becoming more versatile, just because I know that that's the way that the women's game is heading. And my coaches just continue to push me to my uncomfortable places that sometimes I don't want to go. And I know
right,
that just for me, like I have to be versatile because going forward in the professional league, like that's just the way the women's game is going. So that was a really big focus for me my junior year, whether that was shooting threes, being super versatile on posting up, my mid-range game, just making sure I had all of those tools in my toolbox. And so yeah, it ended up being a good year. Obviously, it got cut short, unfortunately, but we had a good year and a good squad.
definitely. So when COVID did end or did start, cut your guys' season short. What were you doing? Were you still at school working now? Like what was that whole situation?
Yeah, I was like I was sad. I was like like that was probably one of the saddest days of 2020. Like obviously then there's a lot of stuff that happened in 2020 with like Kobe passing and just that was one of the more sad days when our season got canceled. And it was just like so weird, like the whole scenario because so we played our last games, our Pac-12 tournament games. And so this is like around this time we're kind of hearing about coronavirus, but we don't really know like what it is, right?
Right.
And so then they canceled the men's Pac-12 tournament, and we were like, "Oh, like they're canceling games. Like, what's going on? Like, what the
Right.
heck is going on?" And they canceled the NBA season, and we were like, "Okay." Then boom, our season got canceled, and so it was just a really, really tough time for our team because we were a great team. We were 26-5, so we were a really, really great team, and obviously I was super sad for our seniors as well. But we found out like early March, and then I went home like 3 days later, honestly, and
Damn.
I was home from March to September, and so I was able to come back in September, like mid-September, but we were even later than other schools, just because California is a little bit different, and like the protocols are a little bit different here, and so we
Right.
were home for like a long 6 months, and it was tough. I mean, having to work out at home, not be around your team, your season just get canceled like that, and yeah, it was rough, honestly.
So when did you get back to school starting your senior year?
I got back on September 14th, and so that's actually like, so we start school, like California is weird. We start school in October 1st.
Oh,
And
wow.
so yeah, it's weird. But like in a regular year, basketball would be on campus in June. And so we were like 3 months behind because like we didn't have any summer workouts, no summer classes. And so it was just super weird to get back in September, and then it's like, okay, we're about to start the season, like literally like in a month and a half. And so it was
Right.
super, super weird transition for sure.
Definitely. That's dope. I'm just glad like y'all are there playing now. I know like some games are getting canceled here and there, but at least you guys are there. You know you're gonna play, maybe not this game, but the next game, or So that's what I mean by it's dope. You guys are back at school
Yeah,
doing
I'm
what you guys love to do.
grateful that we even have a season. Like I'm grateful for sure.
Definitely. So going into your senior year, without having any games being played, what goals did you set?
Good question. I'm not a huge goal setter, honestly, but I think one that was really important for me is I really want to be a Pac-12 championship champion with my team. I think that's something that we've just been so close. Whether that's regular season, whether that is we finished second last year behind Oregon, and so we just been so close. And so that's one goal that I really had. I really want to be a Pac-12 championship champion this year. Go to the Pac-12 tournament and go to the championship game because we've just been so close. I don't really set a lot of individual goals, so I wouldn't say I have any of those. But that was definitely the one goal that I really had.
Definitely. That was dope. So you guys are 6-2 right now, right?
Yes.
So what is it like playing through this pandemic, having no fans? Like where are you guys getting? Where are you bringing this energy from?
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. Like I was just talking to my teammates the other day, and I was like with the whole when we first heard no fans, we were like, this is gonna be so weird. Like, what are we even gonna do? The gym is gonna be silent. Like this is gonna be weird. But honestly, it hasn't really been that bad, and I haven't really noticed it. And they do a good job. Like they'll add like crowd music or crowd noise, and so
Right.
there's a little. It's not just completely silent, which is nice, but you really don't notice it when you're in the heat of the game. And we bring our own energy. We have to like our little squad, our little circle. That's who we have. And so, obviously, when we're on the bench, we're just trying to bring as much energy on the court to our teammates, high five, stuff like that. But playing through COVID has definitely been an adjustment. I would say there's just so many different protocols that we have to follow, and especially with, I think my situation is a little bit different than probably any other person who's not in California, just because California is just so locked down right now. Like there's
Right.
nothing open, not like there's no restaurants, nothing of entertainment is open, and so it really is like a bit of a bubble with you and your teammates and kind of your program. And yeah, so it's definitely different, and it's not what we asked for. But like I said, I'm just super grateful to have a season and be with the people that I love and people who are my teammates and my coaching staff. So yeah, that's all I can ask for.
Definitely. That's dope. I'm happy for you guys. You're having a winning season. You just came off a really big game against Oregon. You happened to come out with 33 points. Well, that was just your guys' most recent game. Do you want to walk us through that game a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So for those who don't know, the games between us and Oregon are always like super high tempo, super great games, just because they're another great program in the Pac-12. And so, yeah, we went up there. They were ranked number 8 and we were ranked number 11. So it was going to be a super cool top matchup. And we were ready. Like we honestly expected to win. And that's the way we step into every single game. And it kind of just felt right, just personally for me. And we know what we're capable of when we are able to like really lock into a scouting report and really lock into a game plan. And we were able to execute. And it came down a little bit closer down the stretch than we had anticipated. But I'm just super happy that we got the win against Oregon, who they hadn't lost on their home floor in almost 2 years, and the last loss was to us.
Wow.
In 2019. Yeah, so like just to get that win on their home floor to a great team just really gives us confidence to just continue to grow every single day and be the best team we can.
Definitely. That's dope. So what's up with this today's game got canceled? What was that like? So when the games get canceled, what do you guys do? You just got regular practice and just chill the rest of the day, or what's that like?
That's one thing in COVID that we definitely have to get used to, honestly. So this is our third game that has been canceled, or not canceled, but I guess postponed, let's say, for now. So it's our third game of the season. So we've kind of been getting used to it, and we know that this is such a weird time and such a weird year. And so we know that that might be the possibility just because of COVID. And so it's definitely weird. And obviously we want to be playing games, as much games as we can. But we did today, like you said. And we just had a regular practice. As for a leader for me, I know that I have to just keep my team kind of level-headed and balanced. And it sucks, but we're going to get a good practice in. So today we had a great practice. It was super up-tempo. We did well, and we're just gonna get ready for Sunday's game, hopefully.
Who do you guys have Sunday?
We are playing Utah.
Okay, and what is that like? You guys confident in that one, or what's that like?
We go into every game. We go into every game confident, and we believe that we're gonna win every single game, like as any team should, you know.
Definitely,
and
right.
just having confidence and believing in yourself and your teammates. So they actually played USC tonight, so we were able to watch that on TV and get a little bit more scout on how they play and what they're like. And so, yeah, I'm excited for the game for sure.
Definitely. Are you guys playing in Utah, or are you guys playing in LA?
We're playing in LA.
Nice. So y'all got next game, home game. I'll be tapped in.
Okay, I love it.
I'll be watching. But thank you for coming on here, Michaela. It means a lot to me. You're the first female hooper, and you're from Colorado, so you definitely broke the ice here with this one today. So I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to come on here.
Yeah, of course. This is a really cool opportunity, so thank you for having me.
Definitely. But before we get out of here, I got a few questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is, what are you listening to right now? Who are your like top 5 artists right now?
Ooh, top 5 artists. Okay, I'm gonna go with Jasmine Sullivan just dropped an album today. So
yeah, I've seen that.
She's definitely one that y'all need to get on. I would say Giveon. I'm an R&B person, super R&B. So Giveon. I love Lucky Day. I love Kalani. Who else? Dang. And I love Meg Thee Stallion too. I love her, honestly. So that's my top 5 right now.
No Drake? Oh,
no, I do. I fool with Drake. I fool him. But like right now, my top 5, he's not. Like he's probably my last listens. Like I haven't listened to Drake in a long time, so I wouldn't say.
100%. I feel you. All right, next question. Who do you model your game after?
Ooh, good question. I don't know if I like model my game after anyone, but one of my favorite go-to moves is like the fadeaway, the turnaround jumper, and obviously like people are like Kobe used to all the time, so I've gotten like Kobe a little bit. Obviously, like he's on a different level, but just like as far as like that move,
right.
I would say, like, yeah,
definitely, that's dope. All right, last question is, who would you like to see on the show? Who would you like to see me interview? Could be one of your teammates, one of your other friends that are in college that you want to get on here. But you got to help me get them on here, though. That's another part. You got to be able to put the plug in for me.
I don't know who you've interviewed, but off the top, I would, if we were talking about still on the women's side, I would say one of my high school teammates, Alicia Davis. She goes to the University of Northern Colorado. Or if we're talking about the men's side, I would say Kobe Ross. I don't know if you've already done him.
Yeah, Kobe. I did Kobe my first interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that's a definite one you need to do from Colorado for sure.
Yeah. Go watch that pod with Kobe. That's actually my first one I've done.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna watch that, but okay, I'm gonna keep with Alicia Davis.
Okay, Alicia Davis. I gotta write that down. UNC, right?
Yeah, UNC. We were high school teammates for 2 years. She was my little baby when she came in as a freshman, and she's just grown into such a great young woman, and so I'm super proud of her.
Definitely. All right. Well, I'll definitely reach out to her and try to get her onto the show. As I hope you can do the same and help me out.
I got you.
But other than that, like I said, thank you for coming on the show, and everybody else, tap in. Michaela's a hooper. You've heard it here first.
Thank you.